Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka, and welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms, including Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So if you are joining us from either of those platforms, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment. Hopefully I'll be able to address everything as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can address anything individually for you. So let's get started here with a look at our headlines, and it's been a kind of a drearier Saturday. We started off with some partly cloudy skies, but then those clouds increased through the day, and then we even gave way to a few light showers as we went through the afternoon and evening hours, most of which stayed focused over western Kentucky, which is where we're tracking out the majority of that cold rain currently. But that will all start to wrap up overnight tonight, and we should have a drier second half of the weekend. We may still be dealing with some lingering cloud cover through the first half of the day on Sunday, but overall it will be the better of the two weekend days, and it looks like next week we should stay fairly quiet up until Friday, with temperatures gradually warming back up to around average or even above average, especially by the middle and end of next week. So let's get into all of it right now. We've got this area of low pressure dropping down from the north, and that's swinging in again all of that moisture with those showers. We haven't really seen any thunderstorms in the area. There were a few cracks of lightning in southern Missouri, but that was about it. Most of that thunderstorm activity has kind of stayed well to the south along the Gulf Coast of Texas and Louisiana. But we are getting some of that rain here in the tri-state. A current look at where most of the rain is. Again, most of it is lined up in western Kentucky, Davis, McLean, Hopkins, Muhlenberg, and Ohio counties, all right now getting into some of that rainfall, even some light stuff lifting up towards Spencer and Perry County. We do have a few lingering showers off to our west through southeastern Missouri and southern Illinois. They're going to continue to drift eastward as well overnight tonight, but they're also going to be weakening as they do so. So I'd say once that push of rain pushes out of western Kentucky, I think the rest of us will probably stay dry tonight outside of maybe those stray showers making it in from the west. So other than that, a pretty cool and just dreary night. A good one to maybe bundle up under a blanket. Temperatures right now are sitting in the mid-40s, 45 degrees in Henderson, Evansville, and Owensboro, 46 in Newburgh. But the coldest spot on the map already dropping down into the mid to upper 30s up towards Florida, sitting at around 37. But here's a look at the next 12 hours. We'll continue to hold on to the cloud cover, and again, that chance for some rain. Most of that rain is going to stay confined to western Kentucky at this point in time through the rest of the night tonight, but we could still catch a stray shower here in the Evansville area. Temperatures will drop down mostly into the lower 40s, but a few spots could continue to drop into those upper 30s, especially farther off to our west. But looking at our forecast for tomorrow, we'll wake up, some clouds, maybe even a stray shower still through the first half of the day, but then those clouds will very, very gradually break apart, and we should see at least a little bit of sunshine before it sets tomorrow evening. But we also have to remember we're setting those clocks back an hour tonight, so tomorrow's time difference is going to be a little wonky, so making sure you're prepared for that as well. But looking at the hour-by-hour forecast, tracking out the rest of the rain through this evening. Again, once that push of rain lifts off to the east there, I think we're going to stay mostly dry through the rest of the night tonight across the tri-state. And then after we get through the overnight hours, we'll start to gradually see those clouds lift out of here through tomorrow afternoon and eventually drying out as well, seeing some of that sunshine before it sets tomorrow evening. And in terms of additional rainfall, most areas just picking up a few more tenths of an inch, maybe even a few hundredths of an inch there with the rain left over. So not a huge rainmaker, but just enough to kind of cause some drearier conditions out there and maybe alter some weekend plans. But tomorrow will be the better day, and then after we get through today, we'll actually have some fairly dry weather there at least through Thursday, and then we'll start to have another frontal boundary work its way through by Friday, and then possibly another one through next weekend. So here's a look at the longer range European model. High pressure kind of sets itself up here to our south through much of the work week, and that's why we continue to see those temperatures climb through much of next week as well. And then as we get into Friday, we'll actually have this area of low pressure moving in from the northwest, and it looks like that'll bring us the chance for some scattered showers and probably even a thunderstorm or two through Friday morning and into Friday afternoon, and then possibly another system moves in here through Saturday and into Sunday. So possibly some more rain chances for the end of next week, but most of this week is is going to stay fairly dry. And as I mentioned before, with that high pressure anchored to our south, that's going to allow temperatures to warm back up. So we'll get back up to above average by the middle and end of next week. Temperatures for this time of year typically sit in the lower 60s. We're below that today and tomorrow, and we'll start to climb to near average by Monday and Tuesday. However, we'll soar well above average by Wednesday, topping out in the upper 60s and possibly into the upper 60s again by next weekend. Now, I know we were just talking about the heat, but that's going to be during the day. As opposed to at night, it does get a bit colder out there, especially tomorrow evening when the clouds clear out of here. We'll have calm winds, and we may even see some areas of frost waking up Monday morning. We don't have any frost advisories or frost warnings in the tri-state right now because the growing season has ended, but just be aware of that. It is going to be a pretty chilly start, especially Monday morning. Definitely grabbing your jacket. But looking at the month of October, so we just ended yesterday, and looking at the stats so far for the month, we picked up just shy of 5.5 inches of rainfall, which puts us just a little over 2 inches above where we should be. And then for the entire year, we've remained in a surplus, but that has just continued to get added to. We're sitting at around 11.5 inches above where we should be for this time of year. So plenty of rain and snow that we got over the course of 2024 so far. Or excuse me, 2025. And then looking at our average temperatures for the month, they are running a little shy of 3 degrees above average. And that's because we started out the month, if you remember correctly, well above average. We were topping out in the 80s through the first week of October. And then finally, by the last week of October, our temperatures were only topping out in the 50s and 60s. So a huge difference from the start of the month to the end of the month there. And that's kind of just that fall transition as we get into winter. But let's take a look at your 7-day forecast just to kind of wrap things up in a little bit of a bow for you. Again, tonight, make sure you set those clocks back an hour. You don't want to wake up late tomorrow morning for church. And then as you're looking ahead at your 7-day forecast, we'll stay fairly dry through our Sunday. Again, a few lingering showers will be possible, especially through the first part of the day. Cloud cover will linger around for a lot longer, I think, into the afternoon, but we should still see a little bit of sunshine before it sets by tomorrow night. And then we have plenty of sunshine for the start of the work week on Monday. Temperatures top out at around 60 degrees and then continue to climb into the upper 60s by Wednesday. And then we've got a couple more frontal boundaries moving through for the end of next week. That'll bring us some more chances of rain, but temperatures still stay fairly elevated in the mid to upper 60s. So that is all I've got here for the forecast, but let me go ahead, check out some of the comments for you. It looks like we've got Lenny Howard in the group chat here saying good evening. William says, don't forget to set those clocks back, giving us a good reminder there. And he said the rain gauge reading is going to be around 0.02. And looks like showing up, oh, he's talking about a few storms showing up a little bit later from now in the 2-week time frame, showing some stuff on the models. And Hillary also saying good evening to us. So that is all I'm seeing here in the group chat. So looks like Chris says temps are looking good to me for the week. I'm happy that I can deliver some good news for you. I tend to like it when it's a little bit warmer. I think, you know, this time of year we all want it to be chilly, but those few warm days still make an appearance, and I typically like them. So I'm happy you guys are excited as well. So that is all I've got here for the forecast. I'm going to hop off the live stream and I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Of course, we'll go on air after college football wraps up, so hopefully that happens sooner rather than later. But until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your night.